Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in this episode I'm going to be recapping the Big Finish podcast episode titled Matter Alive, which was originally released on the 11th of July 2025, and I'm recording this episode only a couple of days later on the 15th of July 2025. Before I get on with my recap, here is the trailer for this episode of the Big Finish podcast.
Big Finish for the love of stories. Nick and Benji.
Hello to you and you and you and you. I'm Benji Clifford, he's Nick Briggs. This is Big Finish, audiobooks, audio drama and this podcast, all for the love of stories.
In a few moments, Benji and I will be chatting about stuff.
Then it'll be time for the Good Review Guy to showcase the reviews of The Sixth Doctor Adventures Purity Unbound, starring Colin Baker, Bonnie Langford, Ruth Madeley and Imogen Stubbs.
Whose idea was it to use this old police box as a village bulletin board?
Then we go behind the scenes with this Thursday, the 17th of July's release, The Fugitive Doctor, Dead or Alive, and a story entitled Flying Solo by Tajinder Singh Hare. Joe Martin stars.
Hi, I'm Joe Martin and I'm playing the Fugitive Doctor.
Next up, listeners' emails sent to podcast@bigfinish.com, the inbox of delights.
Oh, we should do a series called that. Also available this week, released on Tuesday the 15th of July, Mirror Matter, a Doctor Who audio novel narrated by John Coleshaw, brilliant, and set during that glorious first year of John Pertwee's tenure as the Doctor in what is lovingly known as Season 7.
It's a very compelling season to watch and also to play something based in and around it.
Straight after that, it'll be time for the Randomoid Selectatron, where we randomly select a Big Finish release and offer you a 25% discount on it. What will it be? Well, we'll have to find out.
I've seen some dreadful things in my time.
And finally, as always, we round things off with the 15-minute drama tease. This week it's from The Fugitive Doctor, Dead or Alive, Flying Solo by Tajinder Singh Hare.
Are you sure you saw him fly into the cloud? The cloud around my craft?
Yes. He seemed to get wrapped up in this wave
of wild Cronan energy.
That was the trailer for this Big Finish episode titled Matter Alive. So here's my recap of the Big Finish podcast episode titled Matter Alive. Nick and Benji introduce this episode as well as revealing what this episode of the Big Finish podcast will include. Nick and Benji mentions Benji's dry lips. Benji mentions Custard as well as a news article about Custard. Nick mentions his and his wife's relationship with Custard. Nick and Benji mention rhubarb. Nick and Benji mention their parents going with growing rhubarb. Benji and Nick reveal their feelings on rice pudding. Nick mentions one of Big Finish's post-production employees. Nick and Benji discuss trifle. Benji mentions Sainsbury's. Nick mentions one of his cousins. Nick and Benji discuss hangover cures and Kenny Smith. Nick explains what crisps are. Nick and Benji discuss crisps. Nick apologises for advertising Walkers. Nick and Benji disagree over cheese and onion crisps and alcohol. Benji mentions Big Finish's first Doctor, Stephen Noonan. Nick mentions pink custard. Benji mentions the Teletubbies. Benji explains what the Teletubbies are. Nick and Benji mention the distinction between custard and yogurt. Benji mentions Chucklevision. Nick and Benji discuss blancmange. Benji proposes an idea for another podcast. Benji reveals what a specific word is in Portuguese, Latin and Italian. The trailer for the 6th Doctor Adventures Purity Unbound can be heard. Benji mentions Cliff Richard. Nick and Benji read multiple reviews of the 6th Doctor Adventures Purity Unbound. Some behind the scenes from the Fugitive Doctor, Dead or Alive, Flying Solo can be heard. Benji reveals that the Fugitive Doctor, Dead or Alive, releases on the 17th of July 2025. Hopefully my recaps for those episodes will come out soonish, but as of time of recording, it's not out yet. Benji mentions Tesco's and Robin Hood. Nick and Benji read multiple emails from Big Finish listeners. These emails include mentions of recasts and Big Finish Day 2025, as well as Press Gang, Stephen Moffat, Kate Winslet and Lisa McMullen. Benji mentions air conditioning in Japan. Nick mentions fish fingers and custard, as well as his son Gary Russell, Jason Hay Gallery and Stephen Moffat. Some behind the scenes from the audio novels The Mirror Matter can be heard. Benji reveals that the audio novels The Mirror Matter will release on the 15th of July 2025, which is the day I'm recording this episode. The trailer for Treasure Island can be heard. Nick mentions Tom Baker. Benji explains how the random select child works. Nick reveals that the next episode of the Big Finish podcast will cover Smith and Sullivan Reunited. The trailer for Smith and Sullivan Reunited can be heard. Benji compliments Smith and Sullivan Reunited. This episode of the Big Finish podcast finishes with the first 15 minutes of the Fugitive Doctor, Dead or Alive, Flying Solo, and that is my recap of the Big Finish podcast episode titled Matter Alive. And new episodes of the Big Finish podcast release Fridays at around 9 AM UK time. Sometimes it's a bit before, sometimes it's a bit after. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the Big Finish podcast episode titled Matter Alive. If you've listened to it, my recap, if you didn't, you can put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below. As well, anything else from the channel, such as any previews or recaps, put those in the comments below as well. Remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.